Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's latest podcast. My name is Craig. I am broadcasting right now on a beautiful evening in the swampy mangroves of South Florida. Nice and cool, mostly clear. And today is January 16th, 2014. And I know I did one episode earlier this morning, so I'm going to add one more because I found this one article real interesting. And it's entitled, Why I Cannot Support Concealed Weapons Permits and Why You Shouldn't Either. This was published by SHTFplan.com. Very good article, very good website. Hopefully you can check everything out and share it with others. And this was written by Marc Salvo. Alright, so let's begin. John Philippidis is a concealed and carry weapons permit holder, which means he can carry his firearm on his person or in his car legally. He followed all applicable laws in the state of Florida to obtain his permit and has been a lawful citizen since being given the right to retain a firearm when in public. Recently, he was driving through the state of Maryland on a family vacation when he was stopped for no apparent reason by a law enforcement officer who had trailed his car for at least 10 minutes. According to his family, this is how the stop went down. The officer from the Transportation Authority Police, he asked Philippidis for his license and registration. Around 10 minutes later, he returned to ask John to exit his vehicle. "You own a gun," the officer says. "Where is it?" Philippidis told officers his gun was at home in his safe. Apparently, the officer didn't believe Philippidis. Philippidis, cool, because he began questioning his wife, Callie, next. "Your husband owns a gun? Where is it?" First, Callie said, "I don't know." Retelling it later to the Tampa Tribune, she said, "And that's all I should have said." Instead of attempting to be helpful, she added, "Maybe in the glove box. Maybe in the console. I'm scared of it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I might shoot right through my foot." That's when things escalated. The officer confronted Philippidis. "You're a liar. You're lying to me. Your family says you have it. Where is the gun? Tell me where it is, and we can resolve this right now." Of course, the gun could not be produced since it was at Philippidis' safe. Because, hold it, back up, right there. Because Philippidis told a different story than her husband, the officer said he had probable cause to search a vehicle. Assumption man with the badge. And he did just that. He called for backup, and they literally took the vehicle apart in an effort to find the weapon the Mr. Philippidis left in his safe back at home in Florida. Well, he's going to Maryland, not going through the borders. Hopefully those cops will listen to this message, I said, and I don't care. The gun, of course, was never found. After 90 minutes of having their personal property violated, the Philippidis family was released without charge or citation. Since Mr. Philippidis was driving according to all traffic laws, there was absolutely no reason to pull him over, and this is where our problems start. Where did he get pulled over? Why did he get pulled over in the first place? It's turned out when you registered a weapon as a CC holder, you get flagged and tagged in the system, and apparently this crosses over state lines because the Transportation Authority officer who pulled Mr. Philippidis over did so because he suspected there was a firearm in the car. And that's it. There was no probable cause of wrongdoing and no other possible reason this car should have been pulled over. Remember that whole ridiculous argument about registration of guns eventually leading to confiscation like it has so many other countries in the past? Turns out there may be something to that. Mr. Philippidis and his family were, by all accounts, considering and treated criminals for illegally owning a firearm, even though that firearm was not in their possession. The chief of TAP Transportation Authority Patrol has apologized to the Philippides family, but no action has been taken against the officer that, in no uncertain terms, illegally detained and violated the rights of his family and did so at gunpoint. Lovely. As noted by Carl Denninger at the Market Ticker, this illegal stop highlights the key problem with CCW permits and gun registration initiatives in general, and he argues why such registration requirements need to be repealed. Denninger wrote, Why I cannot support CCW permits. There is only one solution to this problem, folks. It is none of the government's damn business if you're carrying a weapon or not. It's none of the government's damn business right up until you do something unlawful with it, at which point it becomes most reasonable and appropriate to search, arrest, charge, whatever for the unlawful act. But the bottom line is this here, is that the fact that this individual registered his ownership and intent to carry for personal protection of himself and his family in the place where it is lawful to do so, with the government meant that he was unlawfully spotted, detained, and searched by a effing head who has faced no penalty for the violation of his constitutional right to be left alone, absent evidence of or probable cause to suspect actual unlawful activity. The only solution to this is constitutional carry, is that you have the right under the Second Amendment to carry either openly or concealed a firearm without applying for any sort of permit or asking for permission from the government first. It is only if, when you commit a crime with the weapon present and in some way related to the offense, that the government gains the ability to intervene in your personal decision and not to be a victim and protect both yourself and others near you, most particularly your family. This is no means to solve this problem in any other way, as despite whatever sanctions Florida may apply to its peace officers for abusive acts of this sort, the very act of registration exposes you to abuses by other political subdivisions in the United States. Therefore, the only means of stopping this crap is in fact to get rid of any such requirement of registration, period. We'll repeat that again in case you missed it. The only solution to this is constitutional carry. Can we all agree that a criminal who intends to do harm to others will never register their firearm? They will be carrying concealed regardless of laws of the state in which they reside. So if the intent of these CCW laws is to prevent gun crimes instigated by gangs and others, then it is a total failure. What these laws do in actuality is restrict the ability of law-abiding citizens to own self-defense weapons, and, as the case in Maryland shows, to track those citizens across the country. Of course, the government would never overstep its bounds like these peace officers. Peace officer in Maryland. That was just an isolated incident, right? They'll have us believe that officials having knowledge of every gun owner in their state, city, or neighborhood poses no danger to the freedom of American citizens. Perhaps today it doesn't, unless, of course, you're John Philippidis on a family vacation. But consider what will happen should more restrictive legislation be passed, or if the President of the United States signs an executive order outlawing the ownership of certain types of firearms or their accessories. It should be crystal clear. Gun registration in any form, even CCW, concealed carry weapons permits, pose an immediate and distinct danger to the liberty of the American people. I cannot argue about this whatsoever. Mr. Denninger is absolutely correct, and I'd like to thank Marc Salvo, hopefully I pronounced his name right, on releasing this article. And he is absolutely correct, because I always tell people about concealed carry permits are a privilege, not a natural born or God-given right. Because the fact is this, in the state of Florida, for example, you have to get your fingerprints. That's called incrimination. What are you convicted of? When to exercise the right for self-defense, when you do those permit programs, it becomes a privilege. And all my little so-called colleagues told me, oh yeah, well, a police officer told me he makes a suggestion. You know what I say? The hell with it. Because the fact is this, self-defense is a righteous and honorable thing to do for yourself and the people you care about. And here's another thing. Are the police obligated to protect you as an individual? Write me. Prove me. Prove it. That's all I have to say. Prove it. Because you won't find anything. Okay? Even the state of Florida had a Florida statute entitled Sovereign Immunity, which it says governmental delegates aren't obligated to protect you. In addition, look up Wong versus the city of Miami. That's WONG. And that case happened in 1970, which he brought to the Florida State Supreme Court, and they said it themselves, the police aren't obligated to protect you as an individual. He was a vending victim during the 1968 riots that happened in Miami Beach during the Republican National Convention when they were protesting Richard Nixon. Okay, so those are the facts. And I recommend everyone to look at their state constitutions as well. And I can give you a couple here, recommend, which is cut and dry in the state of Florida. And it's Article 1, entitled Declaration of Rights, Section 2, Basic Rights. And it states, all persons, female and male alike, are equal before the law and have inalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty, to pursue happiness, to be awarded for industry, and to require, possess, and protect property, except that ownership, inheritance, disposition, and possession of real property by aliens ineligible for citizenship may be regulated or prohibited by law. No person shall be deprived of any right because of race, religion, national origin, or physical disability. So, does that supersede the permit law? Yes, it does. And we'll go to one more section. It's 23, which is entitled The Right to Privacy. And it confirms every natural person has the right to be left alone and free from governmental intrusion into the person's private life, except as otherwise provided herein. This section shall not be construed to the limit the public rights of access to public records and meetings as provided by law. Hey, what can I say about that? If the people voted no on amending the abortion, on compromising their right to privacy, you should too. All right? Cut and dry. So you don't have to only use the Second Amendment. Use it on the U.S. Constitution. You can use the Ninth as well, enumeration of rights, because it does go hand in hand. All right? In addition, look at your state constitutions as well. You have those rights are inalienable, inherited, no exceptions. What government means in Latin? Control the mind. If those figureheads don't like it, tell them to stick it. Plain and simple. You can vote their behinds out or do a recall if you have it on your state constitutions. So I know in Florida, we can do a recall on the local servants, but not our state servants. So hopefully in the future that can be done. But on the other hand, this is a very, very good, really good article. I commend it dearly. So that's all I have to say right now. And what you can do is send me your love, your hate, your middle fingers on my Facebook page, Twitter. I have Google Plus, and I'm going to put this on YouTube as well. And that's really it. So for now, and remember, demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate societies. Until then, take care of yourselves, spread the love, the truth, and may your guardian spirits be with you.